Nick is a business, right? He got his incredible productions.
Fuck all that. Who elected this nigga to be part of to actually speak on our behalf?
Nah, Nick.
This the same nigga that was singing Gigolos.
Yo,
nah, that nigga was singing. This nigga on Lotto cost a thing with little dreads. Talking about Burberry, Gucci, Scooby-Doo. Like, you feel me?
Nah, but he been
Who elected this nigga?
But he been in the streets, bro.
Nah, he been in that. That nigga just put the little, what's the name of this shit? The headpiece on like 3 years ago. Well, this is the last time my man ASAP had a hit. Featured on even a hit. Like, that's the crazy part. Shout out to the bass guy. You feel me? Shout out to the bass guy. All in the speakers, cop pieces.
Bass guy has some bullshit to say about Black Lives Matter too, but we ain't gonna get into that.
Nah, let's get into that, man. Fuck, ain't shit off the table, nigga.
Hey,
but wasn't that old news though, right? Or that's recent.
It was like a recent clip that he posted. Nigga, I don't know what's up with Bass guy. I think he be. I don't know.
Hey man, too much cocaine, man. If you ask me,
hey, something.
When niggas doing their personal life is up to them, man.
That's a fact.
What's good though, man? It's your boy. Welcome to the Hustle Crew podcast. It's your boy Ra.
Bishop TD Statham.
What's
you know what I'm saying? Like, man. Yo, come on, man.
My nigga like a civil rights leader with that motherfucking fro, nigga.
Hey, man, got the fro on, you know what I'm saying? Got the Don Cornelius.
You feel me?
You know what I'm saying?
Don Cheeto out this bitch. You feel?
Come on, man. Out here, man. The little blade flannel blazer. Come on, man. Out here, man.
Nah, we back though. We out here, man.
In rare form.
We shut with it, man. What's going on, man? I mean, there's a lot of shit going on in the world right now. I'm super happy that we got sports back. You feel me?
Nah,
you don't fuck.
Ain't too cool with that. Ain't gonna lie. I watched a few episodes though. I mean, I watched a few different
games.
Yeah, but it wasn't like no basketball type shit though. It was like some baseball shit I've been watching. You know.
Now baseball is still the shit. Baseball going on. What's going on with our motherfucking Red Sox? Just got slaughtered.
No, we took a few.
Niggas missing Mookie right now, bro.
For sure, yeah, he out there doing his thing. We took a few games from the Mets. We just got slaughtered by the Yankees. You know what I'm saying?
As usual. I don't know what the fuck up with them. Yo, they like our kryptonite.
Nah, the Yankees like an all-star team, bro. They got too many niggas, boy. They got too many big boys.
What the fuck is these niggas doing to get these people?
Them niggas like that shit like a straight basketball team.
Everybody
on their team 6'6".
It's like the Monstars, nigga, like Space Jam. But it's crazy because when I think about like the Yankees got so many monumental players. Like when you really think about it, like all the big names, Derek Jeter and all those guys, like you only think about the Yankees.
See, you know what's crazy too?
Except for new name like Mookie Betts and all them. But.
Yeah. But you know what's crazy? Like the Yankees got a crazy farm system. Like Derek Jeter was like he came through their farm system.
But the idea that shit sound wild. Niggas a farm system.
Black niggas working in a farm.
It's growing niggas.
Yeah, that's what it was. They grew them, bro. You know what I'm saying? Even Mariano Rivera, like those like players that came from their farm system and they grew. I think Aaron Judge. I think he's one of the players too. He's been killing, bro. It's ridiculous. But then you can go around and you can pay for people like Mark Teixeira. What's the other guy name that they got from Florida? John Carlos Stanton. Right. That big nigga, he should be playing football with LeBron. He about LeBron size, bro. He big like LeBron. Hitting balls deep. You know what I'm saying?
Pause. This nigga is tripping. This nigga crazy. Now what the fuck been going on for his time off?
Hey man, closeted man.
Now how you it's even fast forward. How you feel about the guy Jonathan Isaac? If I didn't mess up his name, right? Jonathan Isaac for the Magics. I know he came out. More recently, like I said, NBA just kind of got started back, and the first night, I mean, a lot of teams took that kneel as a unit. You know, everybody took a kneel, you know, in protest of racial injustice in America, and of course, you know, Jonathan decided to stand up, and not just stand up, but also take off the shirt. Like I'm not gonna crucify him for having his own opinion, you know, to things and having his own way of going about things. But in the sense that, you know, in this moment, we're just together making a decision. Like, I just don't think that he should have did that in that moment, you know, where everybody is locking arms and everybody is standing for, you know, something. You know, how you feel about that, though?
Nah, you know what's crazy? This is the exact reason why I didn't want sports to come back. You know what I'm saying? Because the stupid niggas like this, just ignorant people, bro. Like just super ignorant. So I first got somebody sent me the clip. Was it yesterday? Last night? Maybe Friday night? Somebody sent me the clip. So I looked. I said, yo, what the fuck is this about? Like you just see this doofy 7'6" looking idiot. You get what I'm saying? Standing up, and you got his brothers on the side of him because it's a brotherhood. You get what I'm saying? Any type of sport you play, you're on the same team with these people. It's a brotherhood because you're on the same team. And you playing for one goal, you get what I'm saying, the championship. 100%. You got these dudes on the right side of them locking arms. You get what I'm saying? You got one dude the last dude on his left.
Disconnected with everything.
Right, disconnected with everything. Bro, he can't even lock arms. You feel what I'm saying? Because this fucking idiot decided to stand up, bro. You get what I'm saying? And then I'm like, all right, cool. He only have the Black Lives Matter t-shirt on. You get what I'm saying? And then he get up there and I'm listening, like somebody sent me his post conference. And I listened to his post conference. Man was like, yeah, I don't feel like that's stopping, injustice and all this other bullshit, and he brings religion into it. Once he brings religion to it, bro, I cut the shit off.
Yeah, you gotta that conversation stops there.
Yeah, come on, bro. What the fuck are we talking about, though, bro? Your God, bro. What about your God? Like, and that's what people get it fucked up at, because it's like when you start talking about religion, like you can't argue back. You can't argue back with that. You know what I'm saying? Like when somebody talk about God, like how you gonna argue back with something like that? You get me? But God, this has nothing to do with that
at all.
Has nothing to do with that.
Nothing to do with your beliefs in the sense of like you said, religious beliefs.
Yeah. And even it was a baseball player, the same thing. He said he didn't want to kneel because he's not kneeling before anybody but God. Say, what the fuck are y'all talking about? Like, what are y'all talking about, bro? Like, niggas are fucking idiots, bro. Like, and that's why I didn't want sports to come back. So I didn't want sports to come back because of ignorant niggas like these. Just stupid, bro. Just stupid. Like,
yeah, when
shit. Look at his teammates. Yeah, they look ashamed of him, bro.
Niggas heads
like, yo, this fucking idiot, bro. Because I'm sure, like, before...
Niggas had a conversation beforehand.
There was a conversation beforehand, bro. Like, what they gonna wear, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's their position, where they gonna kneel, all of this shit like that. And this dude decided to come out there and, and wanted to, go out for himself. It's not about you, bro.
He probably wore that shirt the whole time until he got out there and did that.
Yeah,
I don't think nobody knew about that.
Come on, bro.
Like I said, when you had white coaches, you got white trainers and everybody, just standing. They're not standing in defense or to say nobody else matters. Yeah. They're just really just protesting in a sense that racial injustice. That's it.
Bro,
there's nothing else dealing with nothing. Yeah. Racial injustice. They got badges that say it. Racial injustice, bro. Come on, bro. Take
that nigga out, bro. Put Mo Bamba. Fuck that nigga.
That's a fact. That nigga Mo get busy.
Come on, bro. Fuck that nigga, bro. Like, niggas like that, we don't even, we gotta exclude. Fuck trying to, empathize and sympathize. No, it's none of that, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's none of that. You had 4 fucking months to get it right.
Yeah.
4 fucking months to get it right.
Figure out what the fuck you want to do.
Why you ain't do this shit during the exhibition games? You know what I'm saying? You want to come out here now and try to make a stand, try to be a hero. The fuck out of here, bro. Same with Virgil. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm tired of this nigga, bro. I cannot, bro.
That nigga jumped right into it. Talking about my man Lupe and what's the name?
Bro, listen. Nigga had that garbage. The shit that you just played me was garbage. Virgil up there trying to sound like a fucking professor. He sounded like garbage. Bro,
I feel like in my head, I like Virgil, but I think that these guys like use metaphors too much to the fact that they don't even sound. Like, it don't make sense anymore. Like, they are so, like, strategic and saying this, that, and the third. And they use different words where it's like, it confuses the message. Like, why the fuck is everything you saying metaphoric now?
Bro, this man said, yeah, the shoes were soft, but it was hard enough to step on the reality of the pavement. Bro, shut the fuck up, bro. Like, yo, what are you talking about, my nigga? Like
I said, niggas just don't know how to have a basic conversation no more.
Holy shit.
Everything is in parentheses nowadays. Everything, you know what I mean? But and then on top of that too, like I said, him making donations that's fucking awful, but then backtracking. I think he donated like $50,000 or something like that to some type of fund. You know what I mean?
Let's get it straight though. Just because you raise money doesn't mean that money is coming from you.
That's true.
Like, we got to stop saying, because I heard Lupe say it on a different platform talking about Virgil donated way more money than everybody in this room. He said that. He said, oh yeah, Virgil raised over $100 million. Okay, that didn't come from him. He raised over the $100 million.
Using his face and his platform.
Yeah, that shit didn't come from out of his pocket. We need to stop that shit, bro.
Well, the 100, remember, I think he did some type of drive where he sold a pair of shoes for like $81,000 or some shit like that, and he used that money to donate. If I'm not mistaken, I think that was the price. But yeah, I mean to say that, you know, what I mean, say the least, you know. And then you kind of speed up, and I think like people come from that lineage is like now kind of being exposed in a sense, because now you got, you know, even to like Kanye, you know, and his current rants with within a presidential race, you know, him, you know, enlisting as a candidate, you know, and I just feel like a lot of that shit sometimes is go with publicity.
Yeah.
You know, just putting yourself in a limelight to know, you know, to kind of highlight what you're doing and people to focus on you, you know. And I think those people like Virgil, who comes from Kanye camp, is like masters at that shit, you know. And I think, like I said, you can kind of see it now, you know, with Kanye doing what he's doing.
Yeah, but even going back to this Isaac shit, right? Like, what are you trying to accomplish by saying that? Like, you took all the good from what people were trying to stand for. Like, so what if it's window dressing? You get what I'm saying? Like,
right.
These companies are behind. They put money up. You get what I'm saying? Let them put money up. They put people in position. Let them do that, bro. Who gives a fuck? Like, it has to. You got to start somewhere, bro. But
right.
But you doing that makes it. You taking a step back, bro. Like that. Him doing that it didn't serve no good at all. It didn't serve no good at all. Sometimes you got to read the room and know your place. You know what I'm saying? Just shut the fuck up and dribble. That's exactly why they don't get these niggas platforms to speak, bro. Because
I don't think we got to generalize it. I think it's certain people that you don't want to give that platform to. Because I think you look at somebody like LeBron James, where they come out and say "shut up and dribble," and then people are like people are frantic because not only is he providing for his community, but I mean he's shedding light on those social issues too. You know, he's building schools and high schools and shit like that. Like, why would you want somebody like that to shut up and dribble? You want motherfuckers like Isaac. Not saying that he's not stupid.
I don't know shit about him.
He's ignorant in a sense that he don't. It seems like he's uneducated as to what they are doing in that moment and what they're putting light at.
He's a black man, bro. I can't give niggas no excuses anymore.
Well, like I said, but that's what I'm saying. He's ignorant in the sense that he's not educated on that.
Call what it is, bro. Niggas be.
Of course, it's PR. It's PR. It's personal rep. These motherfuckers don't want any dirt on their name.
But you can't say that. No, but this is why I disagree with that. When Colin was doing it, I can understand. You get what I'm saying? Because nobody wanted to kneel with this man. Everybody and their mom is doing it now. You know what I'm saying?
Say my grandmother out there the other day.
Bro, everybody and their mother's doing it, bro. You get what I'm saying? Like, people out there doing it. So it's like, you separating yourself now. There's nothing wrong about doing it, bro. But you saying it doesn't fit with your moral standpoint and your goals and like, what are you trying to do? What are you doing? I keep on, I don't know this man personally, don't know shit about him, don't give a fuck about him. You know what I'm saying? But you taking away from the message, bro. Like niggas saying, Breonna Taylor killers is still out there on the loose, bro.
And this nigga out here,
and you out here, and you decide to use your platform. Like, come
talking
on,
about
bro.
Christianity.
You could have used your platform for many different things, bro. Go after the killers of Breonna Taylor. It's a huge platform. You could have used it for many. You could have had your own fucking personal shirt. Arrest Breonna Taylor killers. You could have had. You could have had. You could have did many different things. Many different things, bro. But you decide to stand up there
and pretty much make a fool. I really make a fool of yourself, but
bro, his teammates are
you're
embarrassed,
a fucking
bro.
sore thumb standing up.
He's 7'6", bro. Like,
you can say these type, the shit is kind of hilarious, bro.
It's weird. Like it gets really weird. Like it's really starting to get weird. Like, so you think 2020 couldn't get worse, bro? Here come Kanye. You get what I'm saying? Here come Kanye. As soon as you think this shit couldn't get any worse, here comes Kanye. Like, bro, what the fuck are we talking about? Like, yo, don't get me wrong. It's some truth to the shit he says. Right. Some truth to the shit he says.
Right.
But I think he's purposely saying shit, right? It's like inflammatory. He says these inflammatory statements just to get people in the uproar.
Well, I will argue that I don't think he think that much. I think what happens is, I think, you know how like reading and comprehending, right? In the sense that he's reading a lot of shit, but he's not comprehending a lot. Or I'll say that he's educated, but he has this thing where he don't go in details as to what he mean. He don't specify what he mean. So when he say, okay, well, Harriet Tubman didn't really free the slaves, he just made them work for other white people.
But did you see
that
the pause?
shit sound hard? That's harsh.
But look, the dramatic pause makes me think that everything he just said, he knows exactly what the fuck he's doing. He had a dramatic, because I had the full video before this shit even took off. He had a dramatic pause. She just sent him to work for other white people. And he looked around. to try to see, bro. He's still like it's all the theatrics and games, like you know what I'm saying.
But then I will argue that that in itself isn't 100% false statement, you know, because of the time that we were living in. Mm-hmm. You know, it's just a matter of him saying that shit and then just leaving it as such.
No, actually, that statement is 100% false. She did free people. Let's get that straight. She did free people. You get what I'm saying? It's 100% false. The minute you say she didn't free slaves, she took them to work for other white people, it's false.
But
she freed people. And yes, they went to work to make a wager.
That's what I'm saying. I think we like I said, he got to specify that in a sense that, like, I don't think he meant it in the sense like, okay, well, slavery and then slavery. I think that's what he meant. But in the context that he put, I don't think that that was the right context to put. Mm-hmm. You know, like, that's what happened. The reality is, we talking about early 1900s where black people weren't free. And the idea of black people, you know, was still property. So a lot of these people, like you said, had to go and work for other white people within stores, but as a free man. You know, so therefore they're freed. Different. They are 100% free.
It's completely different.
You know, 100% free. But the idea isn't a far-fetched idea in which that he put out there. You know, I just think that he put the shit in the worst context possible by saying the way he said it.
Yeah, but we can't keep caping for him like that.
I'm not caping for him, but I'm saying what I'm doing is in my head is thinking it out as opposed to reacting in the moment, which I think that's what we do. We react in the moment as opposed to taking a step back and saying, wait, what do you mean? And asking him to specify as opposed to saying, no, all right, yo, I mean, we're leaving now. As opposed to doing that in that moment, but I want to know more.
But I think you got to say, like she said, it was a bunch of bullshit that he had said up until that time when he just decided to leave.
Right.
It was a bunch of bullshit he was saying up until then. But you got to think about it, right? Him having a platform, it's dangerous saying stuff like that, bro. Right. You got other people that's not going to go back and check. There's other people in that room that's not going to go back and check, and they take it for what it is. Like, how dare these security guards get up to black men and stuff like that? You get up there and you let them say these type of things.
Nah, they looked at They looked at sus. They was in the back like.
Yeah,
their eyes was moving.
But I get it though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't say I get it, but this man it's Kanye West. You feel what I'm saying? Like, but it's like we can no longer cape for these people. Like they gotta. It's dangerous information. When you speaking like that, it's very dangerous. It's very dangerous, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you erasing all the history that we got. As soon as we establish some shit and try to figure out something, you know what I'm saying?
This
people like you come by and you try to erase everything. Like, we can no longer. It's dangerous information. It's very dangerous, bro. And it's not.
Like I said, you can't put things out there without context.
Yeah.
You really can't put things out there without context. And I think that's what you're getting at. Like, you gotta specify this shit. Like I said, that shit in itself can go really bad, and that's exactly what happened. Mm-hmm. It get really bad, you know? And then, of course, media makes sound bites, so the shit make it even worse. You put it in a worse situation. You put it in, in a day and age that we're in now.
See, to be honest, I don't even think the media got to do much. He can just
he just talk.
Just give him a microphone. You know what I'm saying? Just put
somebody get Kanye a mic.
Yo, just the mic.
He about to say some bullshit.
He got content for a month.
Fuck, a month, a year.
Just let him talk, bro. You know what I'm saying? I heard he was in the radio.
Let him get a thought process out.
Yeah, before he actually did that campaign, like his first campaign, right? He was in a radio statement, and he was in the radio, and he was saying something how he was like, yeah, if I don't win, I want Trump to win. He was saying how much he hate Biden. I don't know where it comes from, but he was saying how much like he dislikes Biden, right? And he also said, he was like, yeah, he was like, well, if you win, who's going to be in your cabinet? He said, oh, I got Donald Trump as vice president. Bro, what the fuck are you talking about, bro?
He just talking.
Are you kidding me, bro? Like, woman, I feel
like sometimes he just talk. That nigga just be blabbering sometimes. But like I said, he's a guy who has educated himself in a way. So I don't dismiss all the shit. I just take, like I said, for me, when it comes to that man, I take shit with a grain of salt.
My grandfather was a civil rights activist, bro. Right. You know what I'm saying? His mother was a professor. You know what I'm saying? Kanye is not a stupid guy. He's not a dumb guy. This nigga knows exactly what he's doing, bro. He knows exactly what he's doing. That's the sad part about it. You know exactly what he's doing. He's nasty.
People.
And then even with people not taking him running for election serious, right? People not really taking this serious. People need to take it serious because he's going to take votes away from Joe Biden. He's taking votes away from Joe Biden.
Even if it's only 20,000 votes.
He's taking votes away from him. You know what I'm saying? Because you can actually write Kanye West's name in on the ballot. You can write him in. You feel what I'm saying? You can write this man's name in. He's going to take votes away from Biden.
And then you think about it, like the new day and age kids, the Generation X
That's it. That's
being an ass towards or ignorant towards the voting process will go to the booth just to do that, just to be funny, just to say that I put Kanye on the ballot.
Yeah.
Now that's 20,000 people that Biden no longer have, therefore splitting the Democratic votes, therefore automatically pushing Trump into office.
Yeah.
Automatically, he walks into office without anything.
And then with him saying that though, like even like going back to my point, even with him saying like when that radio, because like I said, just put a microphone in his face, he'll tell you a bunch of shit.
He'll go, yeah.
He's saying how much he hates Biden, right? So then I'm like, yo, he probably got this cryptic plan to run anyway, just to take away, just to get his buddy Donald Trump back in office. I can definitely see that happening, and that's what he's doing right now. That's nasty, bro. That's nasty. He's self-serving. You gotta stop being this way. You gotta stop being this way. And then the tweets, like even the tweets afterwards about his wife and about his kids and all this stuff like that. And then like it really hurt my feelings, where I was really crying just watching this man. Like he's self-destructive, and there's people around him. Like I kid you not, I contacted Romfest, GLC, Taz Arnold, Ivan Jasper. He's a clown. He didn't respond back anyway. I contacted a bunch of these people, bro. People that he grew up with, Yusuf Malik, Malik Yusuf. I contacted a bunch of these people, bro. A lot of them looked at my story. They of course they didn't respond back, but what they did actually showed me that they was on tune with it. A lot of them had Harriet Tubman shirts on. Post right after. You know what I'm saying? Like fuck what he's talking about. And then for Kanye to say, oh, nothing's wrong. I'm perfectly fine. Nothing's wrong with me. I'm just crying at the thought that my daughter was going to be aborted. Something's wrong with this dude.
So the theory that I have heard and is that he do suffer from this mental disorder in a sense, right? So meaning like when he's put into the hospital, he's given drugs and things like that, therefore it kind of altering his personality and who he is and how he reacts to things. So he's like drugged up and things like that. And I think they even got like shock therapy that they do to people. Don't know if he ever did it.
No, he's like because he was locked into like an involuntary involuntary rehab center, something like that. And we seen a movie. I forget what the movie is called, where they drug you up. They give you drugs and I'm not saying.
And they say like really intense, right? And it's like now. I feel like he's more radical now than he ever was. And it says he was always radical. He went on TV and said George Bush, hates black people.
That is a fact.
So I don't think that, like if you put fire next to fire, it's still fire no matter what. But I think now he's more irrational in the sense that he don't have that filter. Now, granted, he lost his mother and things like that. Those things go wrong. But I don't see it affecting you mentally as much. Now, granted, I can't tell somebody how to grieve, but it's like this guy is completely altered. I mean, I didn't listen to videos beforehand, or I didn't do my research on Kanye, but I'm pretty sure he wasn't this radical, where it's like, dude, I don't give a fuck how you feel. I'm gonna say what the fuck I want, and that's that. Fuck my kids. Fuck my wife, fuck her mother, and excuse my language to the people who don't like cursing, but that's how it comes off to me, like, fuck, I don't care what no one thinks, I'm gonna say how I feel, and then I'll not try to clear it up, I'll leave it as such, and I'll try to make my point without still identifying what I meant by that first that first topic, because still in all, he said all this stuff, he has yet to explain what he meant by that Harriet Tubman comment. He got people like me who not taking up for him, but me going on, not even going on a limb, and it's me just challenging people to, think about it in a different way. When it's like, that's his job. That's his PR job. You know what I mean? Where they're trying to really help people understand what he meant, Although you can't really tell how somebody meant it or anything, because I'm not in there yet. I'm not in his head. But that's just me playing devil's advocate, to even, challenge further. And just really not having that common thought and thinking, along the lines of, I don't even know what to say.
I'll save you on that one. It's a little weird when you say shit like that, then you promote, I got an album coming out Friday. It's like, yo, bro, come on.
And that shit ain't dropped. Let's be completely honest. Where that shit at?
We know you're horrible with dates.
Nah, that nigga fuck horrible with dates. We waited a whole year for an album.
We waited a whole year for Yandi. Still waiting. But
niggas 2 years. What I'm talking about?
Yandi, yeah.
That's what came out before the last album came out. He's supposed to scrap that. Now he bringing it back.
Yeah, bro.
Supposed to be so soulful too.
I don't know, man. He lost the soul. He lost the soul. You can clearly tell. Like somebody need to help this man.
Nah, that man's soul left with his mother. Like literally.
I don't know.
I feel like that was his bread and butter. I feel like he put so much into her.
Nah, I think it's
possibly.
People,
I don't know. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
I think it's people around you, bro. People around you. All the dudes that he came up with, like even the manager. Like he was at Scooter Braun as his fucking manager, bro. That's Justin Bieber's manager. Like come on, bro. And I think it was Taylor Swift manager too. So he left. I forgot the guy's name that he had. Oh, John Monopoly, some guy from Chicago. He was all Chicago kids and shit like that. You left him to pair up with what's his name, and now you see John Monopoly running back around with this nigga. Like this nigga. But the thing is, like when you got fired before, and then nigga rehire you, it's like,
oh nah, you gonna be
I can't.
You become a yes man. You become a yes man. You become a yes man 100%.
Like it's weird. It's weird, bro. And then he worth $5 billion.
Yeah.
Worth $5 billion.
What can you say to this
man?
man?
What can you say to this man, right?
Nigga, you don't got half of that in there.
Yo.
But I do think like people that was like you said, those names that you mentioned, a lot of those people isn't in the limelight as much as they used to be. I feel like most of those people from that camp is like Taz Arnold. Like I'm looking, you on his Instagram, he's not there. You know what I mean? It seemed like he's here and Kanye's here. Jasper. Those people who I think was like his foundation is now elsewhere.
I think
even to Virgil.
I think Ivan Joshua is still around. His name is Ibn. Nigga, stop saying Ivan.
Nigga get too much money and start changing their name.
Nigga, your name Ibn. Nigga, fuck out of here.
Nigga say, oh yeah, your name. My name Rajan. Fuck you talking about? When I get money, my name is Rajan. Fuck you. Not Rajan, Rajan.
These niggas go with anything. Yes, man, bro. They go with anything.
And that's what I mean. So you look at it like
somebody need to smack the shit out of Kanye. One of his boys need a good.
Nah, I'm gonna come play my man Kanye like he probably put some beats on you. Don't think
he need a good old duff out. Like one at Ron Fest, go down there and
pack out.
Yo, bro, that's a fact. Ron Fest, go down there and duff him out. You feel me? Consequence, go down there and duff him out. Somebody go duff this man out, bro.
Get the old 31 like back in the day.
That's a fact.
Old 31.
Nigga, yo. What's his name? Dave Chappelle flew out there to come check on him. This nigga telling Dave Chappelle to
tell a joke. That was the most awkwardest, funniest shit in the world.
Why he had the gel pants on though? He had inmate pants on. Like what the fuck type of yo, bro? The pants are so big.
What kind of symbolism,
bro? What are you doing, bro?
It's 1,000 degrees outside. They got a whole jacket on.
Bro, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Inmate pants on. Like, what are you talking about, bro?
I hope that's not a part of that new collection with Gap. I'd be disappointed.
Nah, come on.
I'd be highly disappointed.
You're not going for that shit, bro. He keep fucking around. That deal was going to end.
But it's kind of crazy. We've been talking about that deal for a minute.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we literally stated, I believe on here that like that would be the only company that can withstand somebody like Kanye because they have the resources in order to produce the type of clothes that he wants.
You know, there's still like a lot of like malls all across the country, right? You know, all these companies across the country, especially American brand companies, right? They filing for bankruptcy.
Right.
They not losing anything to bring Kanye West aboard. You're not losing nothing. It's only thing.
The stock dropping anyway.
Yeah, it's only the gain. You only got something to gain from out of there. So I feel like this is like I feel like they need to do this move. You get what I'm saying? And for that reason, they probably won't get rid of him. But somebody need to. It's not fair when you get a Nick Cannon, right? And I know I'm not trying to run through all our topics and shit like that, but you get a Nick Cannon, right, who speaks up, and it doesn't seem like it was anti-Semitic comments to me. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't seem like it was anti-Semitic comments to me, and he loses his job. But you get Kanye West to come out here, and he can talk about slavery is a choice and see all this wild shit, and he still keep his job with God.
Well, I think when you talk, and that's not the control.
Let me put some more context behind it too, right? Or when you get people that's on Fox News that constantly says all of these insensitive comments about Black Lives Matter and black people, calling them thugs and shit like that, they get to keep their job, and this man Nick loses his job. That's weird. Somebody make sense of that to me.
Well, I think it's really a power shift, and I think that like when it comes to it, and you speak on a certain thing, and there's people behind it that can take, in a sense. I think that's what happens. See, what happens is when you talk about when you talk about the black race, there's no penalty behind it. There's no penalty. There's just literally you say something, people on social media, people rant and rave for a week, After that week is over, we back to business as usual. Because their grandmother's still watching Fox 5. Their grandmother's still watching CNN, although they've been making these racial comments, this spiel and this rhetoric. You know, they still do that. So at the end of the day, a lot of times we show inconsistency in making sure these people are held accountable. Because we go back to like business as usual. As opposed to you speak about a race that in which empowers, and sorry, not really empowers, but is mostly the industry.
That's anti-Semitic comments.
What's that?
What you just said.
Talking about people. I didn't mention anything. I didn't mention whether it was who or whatever.
Okay.
So I said when you mention the people who are in power, they can take. You know, whether it's black, green, I don't care what it is, you know, but I'm just saying a people.
It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird that you can say, yeah, these people run all of this shit in this block. That's anti-Semitic comments, right? They run all. It's not even speaking down about somebody. I guess it's like
just saying, right?
A fucking stereotype. Yo, bro, it's nasty, bro. It's weird, bro. What was y'all at when Don?
It's nasty, the thought process. Yo, just like
what was they at when Don Imus called Rutgers basketball players nappy-headed hoes? He got fired and ended up with another job with a bigger bag. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck are we talking about?
He doubled up after saying that shit. I appreciate that.
I appreciate it, my nigga. I like that, huh? Take this. Like, bro, where the fuck was y'all at when... Come on,
when this shit was going on,
bro.
Like I said, that's why we gotta continuously unite.
But I don't think it's Nick was fired instantly.
Yeah.
Oh, he didn't apologize? All right, cool. We can instantly on his own public platform on some YouTube type shit. You know what I'm saying? Last I checked, his views didn't reflect the company.
I don't believe that.
His views don't reflect the company. You know what I'm saying? That's separate. This man got fired on his day off, bro. That's ridiculous, bro.
They got fired on his office day at his own personal agenda.
Come on, bro. It's like, come on, bro. Like, we got to keep the same energy.
I just think, and like I said, not to... I just really feel like... Not that... I just feel like, personally, that Nick Cannon's back step was just like... It was weird to me. It was him taking a step back
with the rabbi
from not just in general, just like going out to apologize right then and there, and like him being somebody who we believe that is very intelligent, somebody that has done research, somebody that who on his podcast actually has books, empowerment books. Sitting, it's just weird to me that he'll take immediately once a job is snatched. He'll take that, apology, immediately. Therefore, not standing on anything that anything that he believes. Not saying, the anti, those comments, but just standing on beliefs. In the sense that, like, I believe that this is this. He no longer stands on that platform. He takes that step back. So my idea is, like, what do that say to other people that potentially educate themselves and scared to, take a stand and say something, not necessarily to a person or to a being, but to say something and feel like they have to apologize for everything.
Well, I think Nick is a business, right? You got his incredible productions.
Fuck all that. Who elected this nigga to be part of it to actually speak on our behalf?
Nah, Nick.
This the same nigga that was singing Gigolos.
Yo,
that nigga was singing. This nigga on Lotto cost a thing with little dreads. Talking about Burberry, Gucci, Scooby-Doo. Like, you feel me?
Nah, but he been
Who elected this nigga?
But he been in the streets, bro.
Nah, he been in that. That nigga just put the little, what's the name of the shit? The headpiece on, like 3 years ago.
He been out there.
3 years, that nigga got the little koofies.
Nah, he been in the street. The thing is, though, right? He's a business. He employs a lot of people.
100%. I'm not denying that.
The minute his contract got terminated, the rest of the people was out the business. I heard Ryan Seacrest supposed to take over. You think Ryan Seacrest?
Yo, could you imagine that shit?
You think he keeping conceited up there? Fuck no. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Ew.
That nigga ain't keeping conceited. You think he keeping?
Let's go back in, V. Could you imagine how that's?
Bro, you think he keeping DC Young Fly up there? That nigga is out. You get what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro.
I see his stance. His stance was that. His stance was, okay, it's bigger than just me. You know what I mean? And that's fair to say. And, like, I can only respect that. I can only respect that it's bigger than you. But in the same sense, like, it's just the idea of standing on beliefs, you know, and I think it was a good idea to have that conversation with the rabbi after the fact where you can have that conversation. But even to getting to that point of having that conversation, the rabbi said, yeah, it's cool, we'll talk. You gotta apologize, G. If you don't apologize, we're not talking. Simple as that. Like, before we can have had this conversation, G, apologize, and that's fair. That's fair. You don't respect me enough to apologize. And I think, honestly, I would have did the same thing. But in the same sense, it would have been vice versa if he wanted to get us on a podcast and we say, yeah, I like that, but that comment you made about Ra, yeah, you gotta apologize about that. What? But you out your mind, G. You out your mind.
So
Next.
I don't feel like he did. Like I said, I don't feel like he did anything wrong.
Next.
You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like he did anything wrong. That's me though.
Fuck
that's
you.
speaking for me. And then you can't even compare the struggle though.
Nah, of course not.
We both went through turmoil in this company. I mean, in this country. With the Jews and blacks, right? I wouldn't say in this country, but we both been oppressed before, right? But and I'm not comparing the two.
I think that's a slippery slope. I'm gonna come clean with you. It's like a slippery slope because in a sense you're gonna still compare it in a sense. Yeah. You know, and then it's like you said, you can't compare apples and oranges. You know, they both have different situations and they had different different time periods. You know, of course, different years of oppression and things like that. So I think, like I said, I just think that's a slippery slope, even to go down. You know what I mean? And I gotta catch you like that, brother. Appreciate you know what I mean? Gotta catch you like that, brother.
Appreciate it. Nah, but like I said, man, I don't know. I feel like that was the reason why you probably apologized for it. But I don't know. It's weird, bro. Like I said, it's like when things happen so quick like that, he was able to get fired within minutes, bro. That shit, it should be the same way. But even that is it's still like power. It's like it's still a power structure, even with that. You know what I'm saying? To be able to move shit and get rid of people when you feel like their comments when you feel like their comments are against your beliefs. You feel what I'm saying? That we don't have that type of privilege.
And I think that's the idea. The idea is to educate and improve yourself so that you can one day have that. You know.
But like all the books he was reading, he was educating himself. You get what I'm saying? Like,
that's what I'm saying. So when something happened and you completely backslide from everything, it's like, damn, bro. So all them hours of educating and reading and everything just goes out the window. And granted, yes, you should always leave yourself open to be corrected in a sense, But tell me what's wrong. Tell me what's wrong, therefore I can identify where I went wrong, and then we improve from here, and where do we go from here, I just didn't see much of that. For me. I don't know about anybody else. I don't know, and some of you fans may have watched it, and you guys may have comments and may have things. So by all means, share. Yeah, leaving comments and everything where we can have that conversation, or we can be corrected. But I didn't see where that improvement was, and where he necessarily went wrong, and it was 100% wrong. It may have been somebody's idea of wrong, and that's just speaking in the sense that whatever the situation may have been. Not necessarily just with that person or that group of people. It's like you backslide entirely, and like I said, I get the reason because it's bigger than you, but in the same sense, like you throw away all those hours of reading.
Did he get his job back?
I'm not sure. I think one network kept him. They didn't throw him off, and I think it's like some type of show. They didn't completely dismiss him completely. So he's still somewhat on that platform, And then, like I said, I just think that when you dive into things more, and not necessarily just that situation of Jewish and things like that, but in all situations where you take time to dissect it, I think you start to find truths within the things we have known to be. Like when you think about things such as like just politics in itself, and just the understanding of the parties, and what they identify with and who they are. I think you start to find little holes in it, and I'm pretty sure you probably can, you know, elaborate on those things. 'Cause I know that you're into that and like you read up on that, you know. So I'm pretty sure you got something to say about that, G.
Well, that's a great segue for Candice Owens, huh?
You feel me?
I see how
you gotta get to Candice Owens.
I'm not gonna lie. I was a little afraid. It was like some girl I know. She's super smart, right? And she had said something. I'm like, yo, you familiar with Candice Owens? Like, she said, yeah. She said, yeah, I heard of her before, but I'm not a fan. Are you a supporter? I was scared as shit. Like, oh,
but
nah, I'm not a supporter. I was scared to death because I'm like, yo.
It's just an idea, though. You know what I mean? And it's like sometimes we do this thing where because you my man and you feel a way about something, nah, bro, you I don't fuck with that, bro. It's like when you take the time out and, like I said, you do that research, and people are ignorant in a sense, and not saying that's a bad thing. It's just a terminology of uneducated or not knowing, you know. And I think sometimes we don't do that necessary research where to understand what this person is saying, you know. And the first time I got introduced with Candice Owens, and that was my point when you brought up that, is the first time I heard about her, it was on the platform on Revolt that P. Diddy put together, where you had Killer Mike, T.I., Candice Owens, and a few other guys that I pretty much don't remember any of those people's names. Not saying that they're not people of a, you know, higher stature, but I'm not familiar with those people. But watching that, I wouldn't say sided, but I kind of understood where Candice was coming from, in the sense that T.I. was going for bait. He came on the platform automatically and did not like Shorty. Like, Candice was like, as soon as she started talking, he just
because it's like the radical. Like, I just watched the interview with her and some guy Lamont Hill, right? And it's the interview, like it's just the whole process. Like when she was speaking about George Floyd, like George Floyd was like a druggie and all this stuff like that. It's like, yo, cool. Yeah. That might be true, but we're not talking about.
We're not focusing, right?
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not what we're talking about right now. Like, you choose the bat. It's almost like that Kanye West syndrome, where you gotta say the most outlandish shit.
Right.
Yeah, it might be true. You know what I'm saying? It may be true, but that's not what it is. And then she was like, "Oh, I don't feel like people should be treating him like a hero. He's not a hero."
Right. Which is like, completely fucking wrong.
Yeah, and like
we didn't fucking choose him.
Like Mark Lamont Hill was like, "Yo," he said, "We didn't choose him." You know what I'm saying?
We didn't choose him. Y'all choose.
They chose him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't choose him. You get what I'm saying? It just so happened we still be on it. Like, you know, we feel like we've seen enough. But I mean, she did have like, even in there, like, I don't agree with like almost half of the shit she says, but she kind of used charts and data to kind of back her support and claims. Right. Majority of the time it does. You know what I'm saying? And the shit that she wanted to touch on. Right. You know, it backs her claims and stuff.
And then she's ignorant to the things that she isn't educated on.
Yeah.
She's completely, that's when she gets more, you put that emotional fact in. Like, why the fuck are you talking about his personal life when he was fucking murdered by cops?
Yeah.
I don't think she prepared necessarily for that. She just prepared to come in and say, oh, this, and then move on from that conversation. But yeah, go ahead.
But even still, like, you know, like how she's, like, people, like, she loves Trump, you know what I'm saying? And granted, right, like, Trump he's done a lot of things for business owners, right? And if you're a small business owner, you'll support, I mean, you'll benefit from a lot of the things that he did. And I think one of her arguments was saying how black communities need private businesses to come in to help the economy, right, and to help that community grow. Right. I kind of agree with it, but then again, I kind of don't. Right? You know what I'm saying? I feel like having a black owned businesses is counterproductive. For some reason, right? But she said we need private business because private business can come in, it can create more jobs for people, which I get that. It's a jumpstart for the economy. I understand that, but private owned businesses also drains neighborhoods too. True. You get me? Like we see what a Rite Aid or Walmart. We see what a Walmart do to, you get what I'm saying, to communities to the point where they can't even actually be inside within a community. They got to be pushed away. You know what I'm saying? Like they got to be pushed away, like isolated. You get me? Because they destroy communities. They destroy the mom and pop stores. Right. You get me? So her claim saying that is like it's almost ridiculous. You know? Well, how you feel about that?
But like I said, to go back to the point, and I said not to dismiss what you just said. You know, and just I think in a way, she do the same thing. Look for that awe moment. You know, she mentioned to T.I. that T.I. was looking for that awe moment. He was looking for that, you know, everybody react in that moment. Yeah. I think she does the same thing, where she uses your emotions against you. you know, and I think that's what she really do. And the idea is, a lot of her points are valid, a lot of them are fucking false, and they just fucking radical. When she speaks about, you know, her idea of parties and what they do to manipulate you, you know, I believe that shit because companies manipulate us. I had a fucking store manager manipulate me to believe that he was the most greatest dude in the world, that he helped me get promoted, and gonna find out he ain't did shit the whole entire time. You know, but you don't know that until you do your research and you fact check shit and say, okay, I did get promoted, but how did I get promoted? Who spoke my name up as opposed to this one person speaking my name up? Kind of find out somebody else told this manager about me, not him. You know, so it's like the idea is like you don't know until you fact check. And I think, like I said, she's not 100% right. I don't believe a lot of shit she say. But I also believe some of the things that she say, you know, and that's just how I come off. I'm not a huge supporter of her, but I'm willing to have the fucking conversation. Sure. I'm willing to have the conversation. Let's not be so dismissive in a face of somebody who we don't agree with. I think the first thing we do is we put the stigma on this person, therefore not accept anything that they're saying to us. And I think on that platform, to go back to my point of, you know, when I first met her, first introduced to her, T.I. was completely dismissive of everything she was saying. It was so bad to the fact that Killer Mike had to stop in and say, yo, I'm gonna be honest, like, y'all are saying no to this, but Farrakhan been saying this for years. And then it slowed him down to like, wait, let me reevaluate my situation and what I'm saying to her. And that shit didn't improve him because he went right back to the rhetoric and going to her neck the whole entire time. You are a lie! And I'm like, what's going on here? Dude, are we getting anything accomplished? Because we're not having a conversation. Because we're being dismissive of everything that she's saying because of the bullshit she said on that radio show or wherever she said that shit. And the bullshit. Right, you know what I mean? Or the shit before that. Or afterwards, you know, when she's down in, you know, George Floyd, and she's down in black people, and she's saying private companies. I think we dismiss everything because of those comments when we should literally invite her to have the fucking conversation and let her explain it and stop fucking jumping the gun. Let's talk.
She also said how the Black Lives Matter movement is being hijacked by the Democratic Party. Because I was saying Black Lives Matter, right? But somehow it turns like a political statement.
Right.
I'm like, how the fuck is it a political statement, right? Like, it's not. I mean, to me, it's not. You get what I'm saying? But somehow the narratives and everything has changed. Like, everything has shifted. You know, even with Black Lives, we keep revisiting it, even what Black Lives Matter stand for. Now it's like, you know, fuck the police and all of those things that I thought was built on has nothing to do with
what the fuck is really going on.
What the fuck is really going on, right? Like, even if you go to their page, like I had an argument with one of these ignorant people. And he's like, oh, black people want reparations. I'm like, yo, black people doesn't want reparations. We never said that shit. That's not what Black Lives Matter is about. Oh, yeah, yes, it is.
That shit started during the, what's the name? When they was battling to even run for the fucking office. Everybody, reparations. And niggas went crazy. Excuse my language, not niggas, but miseducated and you know what I mean, ignorant people just went crazy. Yes, give us reparations. But that was 10% of the people.
It's trigger words. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So with her
trigger
saying,
warning.
Yeah. So with her saying that, I'm like, damn, like, it's a little, no, so the guy was like, you want reparations and all this. I'm like, that's not true. Oh, yeah, go to their page. I went to their page because I thought I missed something. I went to their page and read everything that they stood for against and what they was fighting for. And not one time did they mention reparations. So somehow, like, people are getting it wrong. Instead of people going to, I've noticed one thing now, and he tried to counter me back with a fucking paper, with a fucking article from somewhere else. I'm like, yo, if y'all want the source, go to the source.
Yeah, stop going to these stupid fucking media platforms.
Just go to the source, bro. Go to the fucking source. But people don't want to go to the source. That's the problem. You want to run all over. I never heard of a nigga trying to get information on Walt Disney through Toys R Us. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like, yo.
Yeah, this toy.
Yo,
look, let me tell you about this.
It's like me buying articles about Walmart from Target. They're not going to keep it. They're not going to keep it a bean. They're competitors. You feel what I'm saying? Like, they competitive. They're not going to keep it a bean.
Like I said, and that's how, like, sorry to cut you off, but that's the idea. The idea is we're working on here. This is our lane. But motherfuckers have a tendency of adding extra shit to it. So it started a 1-lane conversation, and now we got a 15-lane conversation where that's not what we're focusing on. You know what I mean? Like, other people are controlling our ideas now. You know, and it's the media. It's this, it's that, you know, and it's also other people that are influencing this shit. You know what I mean? And there's people that's involved that shouldn't be involved. But I can't say, okay, well, yeah, move. You got to move. Those people are already integrated into, because what happened was when you think about the riots, well, not this, I'm sorry, excuse my language, the protests, you don't know who was protesting, who was rioters. So it looks, we all dressed, we all got on masks. Who knows who? 9 times out of 10, like I said, those people that's there at 9 o'clock in the morning, those are your protesters. Yo, you know, 6 o'clock, you got a SWAT team of motherfuckers with camouflage, black pants on, with bandanas. Where the fuck did y'all come from?
They ready to get shit turned.
It's crazy, yo, the whole perspective of what's going on, and just really just fucking up the whole movement. Like I said, we're here. We're focusing on this one thing, and y'all making it a bigger thing. You know, Black Lives Matter. Oh, well, Black Lives Matter. So you saying Black Lives Matter more than white lives? No, that's not what we're saying. We said, like I said, I think I've said it before in the podcast. You know, our house is on fire. Put our house out. Simple as that. Like, dude, it's not that we matter more. That we matter too. And that's just that. You know what I mean?
Think, you know, I was saying before earlier, I think Michael Che was like, he had like the best the best scenario for that one. It's like, you know, your wife coming in and your wife asking you, hey baby, do you love me? He's like, oh, come on, honey, I love everybody. You get what I'm saying? It's like one of those type of situations. It's weird, bro. You know what I'm saying? But
that shit is awkward as hell. Could you imagine saying some shit like that to your fiance?
It's weird, bro.
Yeah, you might die. You might die.
I love everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I love everybody, baby. Yeah. Everybody needs love. Like, what?
Like, yo, come on, bro.
What the fuck is you saying?
Enough of that. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? Like, I think it's just crazy. And like I said, just really, we need to just really get in tune to things and do the research a little bit. You know what I mean? Just do the research and, like I said, not be so dismissive of things when they seem to rub us the wrong way.
And
you know?
And I think this whole podcast is like, I think we kind of touched on like both sides of it. You know, the right and left. You know, left wing. I think we touched on both sides. I think it's always good to hear another side to it, right?
Right.
There's always 3 sides to a story.
It's your side, my side, and the truth.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you also want to hear from the other side too, to kind of, because sometimes they got valid points as well. You know what I'm saying?
They need to stop voting on whether or not it's right or left, and vote on that policy that fits who you are as a person. You know.
And if you really want to strip it down to like that, I'm sure a lot of people wouldn't be voting Democrat because some of those policies don't actually fit.
It's not in line with what's really going on. It's not really in line with what you believe that's going on. You know?
I hate to keep getting dark, but those comments that we're saying made, bro, those comments that Joe Biden made, if you're not black, if you don't vote for him,
you're not black. That shit is wild. But I think he was just trying to cater, and he gave a bad fucking joke. That was a bad fucking joke. Like, I think where you going, and I don't think Charlamagne baited him into the shit. He just thought he was a part of the crew in that moment. Oh, you're not black, because that's something Charlamagne particularly would say. You know what I mean? So it's like, dude, go ahead with that. Like, go ahead, bro. We know exactly what the fuck going on. You know what I mean?
But you know, enough of the tough talk, man. I'm tired of. We always get depressed every time we talk about that shit because it's like you want to be hopeful, but you start to see some of the shit, even like the George Floyd hearing. When you start to see some of these things, you're like, yo, no. But my boy 6ix9ine, man.
This nigga. Anytime we have a fucking legit conversation, this nigga 6ix9ine come up. Every time. That's like an icebreaker in this bitch.
Yeah, like 6ix9ine went on. He back off house arrest, man. Did a new video out in Brooklyn when niggas say he couldn't go.
First,
you know what I'm saying?
That shit can get real dark real quick when you really think about it. The shit that he was spilling out here.
He out there in Brooklyn getting busy.
Yeah, but that nigga's running his mouth too much and he's saying shit he shouldn't be saying. We could really talk about that, brother. We could really talk about that. Because this nigga talking about, speaking about dead people. I mean, dude, that's something you don't play with. You don't play with people dead folks, man.
Names, bro.
You don't gotta say people's names, but people, that's up for speculation. I mean, we lost arguably one person I can speak of and say is monumental now, and I think even then, R.I.P. Nipsey Hussle. You know what I mean? Like okay, speculation that he's talking about Nipsey. Then there's speculation that and that he didn't say it, but me as a consumer and me just listening, I'll speculate that. Oh, niggas in the ground, like what?
Yeah. So
like, man, what?
So I think the people. All right. So the comments that he made, he was on what's name. He said, "Yo, like people get mad at him for walking around with a bunch of security." He said, "Yeah." He said, "I'm not gonna be ended up like some of those dead rappers that got shot all in their face and shit like that. He said, that's not gonna be me. You know what I'm saying? He said, the same niggas that was dead and had something to say about me, you know what I'm saying? He said, nah, it's not, I'm not gonna end up like that. So it was 2 rappers that had passed away. When music later released, they was talking about Tekashi, you know, Nipsey Hussle on what was that Rick Ross song, Rich Nigga Lifestyle, and then it was Pop Smoke. Oh, I can't remember what the name of the song is, but he was like, no rainbow head shit. So it was 2 people that he was speculating talking about. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't say no names. You get what I'm saying? It's 1,000 rappers that had died. You know, some famous, some not.
But really, come on now. Like these names. When you hear that, like I said, me as a consumer, I'm not thinking about Chiwi, Lil Keefy, you know what I mean, Lil Snacks. I don't know none of those rappers.
Shout out to Lil Snacks, too.
Whoever Lil Snack, I don't know if that's a person. I just made that shit up. That's a real person?
It's Lil Everything.
What's that?
You got a nigga named Lil Windex. You know, I'm so serious, bro. It's Lil Everything out there.
Yo. So it's like, the idea is like, as a consumer and as somebody who listens to music and somebody who, I mean, predominantly listen to, let's say, I wouldn't say mainstream music, but a lot of good artists, and you hear that from 6ix9ine. I'm not thinking about X. I'm not thinking about X. I'm thinking about Nipsey. I'm thinking about Pop. You know what I mean? Where you're talking about these people when people were actually hurt by this, dude.
Allegedly.
Like, you know, allegedly. But people are hurt by this shit. Like, those passings hurt people. I mean, come on, Nip.
Yeah,
that shit, you know, no, he might not be, but if that's who, bro, like that shit hurt people, dude. Like losing those people, you know what I mean? And then if you're talking about Pop, it's too early for that, brother. It's way too early for that, brother. It's way too early. Now he's running your fucking mouth at this point. Now we know you clout chasing. Now we know what you going for.
Yeah, man, niggas gotta protect 6ix9ine at all costs.
Need the fuck out of here, brother. No, man. On that note. Your man on some bullshit. You know what I mean? Ain't no all cost, nigga. We about to end this podcast. You know what I mean? Listen, what I want you niggas to do is come on, like, subscribe. Tell this nigga that he need to stop fucking supporting 6ix9ine. Don't know what's up with this man. He's capping.
If y'all like 6ix9ine, man, do me this favor, man. Share this video. You know what I'm saying? Comment underneath. You know, topics that y'all want to hear.
We about to bring the fucking captain back, cause he is on some shit right now.
Listen, bro.
This man is on some shit, bro.
I'm being honest, man. I'm saying what the people want to hear, man. You know what I'm saying? It's the people like 6ix9ine. A lot of niggas out there like 6ix9ine. Don't get it fucked up. A lot of niggas out there like 6ix9ine. They just scared to say it. I'm out in the closet with my wealth for 6ix9ine.
No, I was in the closet with
you. Feel me?
Man, yo, thank y'all for fucking tuning in to this episode of the Hudson Crew Podcast. Like that man said, like, comment, subscribe. Don't say shit about 6ix9ine. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. AD, can I get a thank you?
Thank you.
Yes, sir.